Hi, welcome to Frankenpunk. We've got a great cast tonight. A lot of excited faces, ready for whatever I have planned.
Oh my god.
Sure.
Everyone's a little nervous because I've been mean.
Just mean.
Hands all over the place. Okay.
We've been tortured for a month, you guys.
A whole
Help
month,
us.
I guess.
Help us.
I'm a little tortured too. I haven't been able to actually tell you what I have planned. Okay.
Fair.
But, okay, without much ado, I'm going to read the little section that I had planned as that was like the prompt for the players for what I told them was sort of the reason that all these characters are here in Paris for this day. Class trips are customary and expected, but under the circumstances, some students are excused from this event. We, the administration of Glassrook University, feel that as a newer and more experimental school, it is only right to pay tribute and show support to Paris. The Romani refugees and citizens have been through a time of trial in the past several years as tampered arcana has driven them from some of their eastern lands. While others are not as supportive, we will be attending the festival in Paris and visiting Notre Dame herself. The reception of us as students of arcane study and the inventors which strive to safely incorporate it into daily life will be important in these matters. We are examples of darkness to those who stand steadfast in the beliefs of the old days, but let us do our part to inspire the hope our school was built from. The festival will entail displays of safe use of arcane and the education you have received. You may think of it as a sort of exam, though it is a secondary concern for us. Those at the top of the class will be asked to shadow the meetings had with the administration of the school and some of the leaders of the city. Please be on your best behavior. We will be leaving in a few days. Headmaster Shelley. We open on a beautiful near spring day, although it's still too cold to really call it spring. The winds are a little strong, the day is very clear, and as a group of students emerge from the hotel that they arrived late last night in, they begin to travel towards the festival, towards the heart of Paris, to Notre Dame herself. They pass many wonderful things, and the streets are filled. And among the crowds and cobblestones, the stalls that line the sides are haphazard and in a wonderful chaos. Tables stand with little space to move between. Vendors selling food, clothing, knickknacks, and musicians playing in any space available. The variety of faces are some you've rarely seen outside of an urban setting such as Paris. There's a two-tiered table of orcs and gnomes presenting roughly cut stones and finely formed jewelry. A dragonborn stands near a street corner roasting 3 pigs on a rotating spit, with half a dozen halflings moving about, taking orders and swiftly preparing stews for customers. A Goliath stands in front of a stand with various ornamental knives and daggers and swords, lined with a sort of porcelain handle and guard, which a customer is testing the strength of by trying to smash it against the support beam of a tent overhead, but the porcelain doesn't even chip. 3 tables of different sizes and shapes sit on the corner of the street, and 2 firbolgs stand chatting with admirers of their wares. One of the tables has combinations of ivory, metal, and jewel, which are woven into different crowns, and some are harsh and jagged with dark stones shining sharply from within the metal coils, while others are delicate and light, with metal beaten so thin to be formed into imitation flowers, light slipping and curling through the artificial petals pinned to the silver base. A flower stall stands bursting with color and sweet fragrance mixing with the smells of sharp metal and savory meats, none somehow clashing, but the pure elation and excitement everyone is bustling about with catches easily in everyone's hearts as you walk through these cobbled streets and rough stalls and proudly standing tents. A fountain actually rests in the center of the bustling vendors. The stone is smooth and worn, and the water is cool, catching the warmth of the sun, but still maintaining the chill of the stone. A woman stands in the center of the fountain, blindfolded with scales in either hand, catching the water before it spills steadily into the basin below. And an area at the edge of the fountain is cleared for a moment. The glint of coins is cheerily shining from below the water, and some festival goers are even setting flowers bought by the nearby flower stand afloat in the water. As you all take this in, I'm going to go by one of you, like, individually, and you can introduce your character, what they look like, and what they're doing. And I'm gonna probably start with Vidya, if that's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'll go ahead. Oh, I don't know. I was expecting you to say something, and then my brain just left. But
Understandable.
Vidya is 5'2" tiefling with bright yellow skin and orange at the tips of her ears, and on her face she has black glasses on, which I took off just to see everyone, but black round glasses that shields her eyes, and she's wearing a white shirt, little corset, and like a big poofy skirt. And I think right now, are we all like standing together, or are we in and about?
You're in and about, like, the stalls and stuff. You're not necessarily all together, but you're kind of looking around.
Okay, I think she's probably closer to wherever Harvey is standing, but also looking interestingly at those furbolgs you mentioned. But yeah, that's what she's doing.
Yeah. Harvey, since you're next to Vidya, what are you doing?
Alrighty, I think Harvey is looking around at the stalls. He's spying all of the nice trinkets and everything. He is, I think he's got a little bit of a nervous edge to him, and his hand is kind of fiddling in his pocket and like holding something, and he keeps putting it back in his pocket, and he's looking around as if surveying a nice spot somewhere.
Violet, what are you doing?
So Violet is a 5'2" changeling, and dressed in all black with her long white hair kind of half pulled away from her face. And she is standing over. She's kind of like looking at the knives and the guy who's like stabbing the support beam for the tent that they're in, and she's like trying not to make it look like she's like watching too closely, but she's also like, oh my god, is that gonna break? That's very exciting.
And it doesn't break. And Robin, what are you doing?
Robin is standing by the flowers, just looking at them, wondering if Harvey's gonna come over, buy her some. Robin is wearing all white, a form-fitting dress with a cream corset, a silk scarf around her hair, her very dark hair that goes very well with her perfectly blue eyes. She's 5'3". She looks human, and she's a bard.
Valentino, what are you doing?
Alright, so Valentino is a 3-foot tall, 2-inch goblin. He is hurrying. Like, he's moving around these stalls like he doesn't know what his size is. Like, if you've ever met like a small Italian man that like thinks he's much bigger than he is, that's what Valentino's doing right now. He is hustling through these cities. Like, sometimes he'll like pause, he'll look at something, and he'll scribble it down in a notebook, and he'll tuck that back into his like long pea coat. And he's wearing this long black pea coat, and he's got a ruffly white shirt on, with like a waistcoat and like a tailored pinstripe suit underneath. So he is mostly just surveying and taking some aggressive notes as he is looking around.
Headmaster Shelley, who like led the group mainly here, and she was sort of looking around as well, turns to, like, you aren't all like too far from each other, so she just like raises her hand and is like, excuse me, we do have a bit of time before we need to go into Notre Dame, so if you have anything you want to get from the stalls, or I don't know what youths do, I'll be over at the doors. If you could come by in about 15 or 20 minutes, but just make sure that to be in there. If you need to go for whatever reason, then please just tell me first. And she goes to stand by the fountain for a little bit to just look inside, and she sort of wanders off around the square. So if there's any conversations you guys want to have together, now would be the time.
Can I would so Vidia's next to Harvey and sees Harvey kind of peeking around, and she just kind of want to pitter patter up to him, which is cute because she's a foot and some change shorter, and she's just gonna like get next to him really close and then like elbow him like a little too aggressive, like Harvey.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You look so nervous.
Does it really show?
I can feel it. I can hear it. I can see it. And I'm blind. I can't do anything. I can see how nervous you are.
I guess I am just a little bit nervous. I didn't think it would be this bad, but
Do you remember
Alright.
the plan? The one we wrote down?
I think so. I keep running it over in my head, and I think I know it, but I'm afraid I'm going to forget it once I
Did you
get
look
to
at
it.
your note cards? that I made. Remember the note cards I made?
I have them right here. See the ones color coded.
With the glitter.
for me.
Do you have the glitter pen? Perhaps. Do you have to use the glitter one?
Oh, yes.
Are you using
yes.
the shimmer?
No, this is the glitter. This is the glitter.
Okay. Those were the. Remember, we made revisions, so you wouldn't want to have the wrong ones.
Oh, wait, are these the wrong ones?
No. No. I think
When she says wrong ones, can you have Robin go, Javi, come over.
Harvey stashes the note cards in his pocket. All right.
good.
All right.
I just was both time, and then I put it back like, oh, that's not. Nah, I know. Okay.
It's all right. It's okay. All right.
I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna watch everything you do. Bye.
Please don't. All right. Okay. Okay. Harvey puts the note cards away, and he goes up to Robin. He's like, I'm so sorry I kept you waiting, love. Are you all right?
Waiting. Oh, look at all the beautiful flowers. They're gorgeous. Do you think I could have one?
Absolutely. Pick which one you want, and it's yours.
She's gonna point at one of the pink roses they have.
All right. Harvey goes to the vendor, and he's like, "Can I have that one, please?"
Yeah, of course. 2 silvers.
Harvey pulls it out and hands it to him.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well.
Harvey takes Robin's hand and is like, walk with me a little bit over here. And he takes her over to the fountain and sits her down.
There's a little gap that like is made between like the people. They kind of see these 2 young lovers, and they're like, okay. Like,
oh god.
I love it.
In Paris, lovers?
Sickening. He sits her down and he hands her the rose, and he goes, It's lovely, isn't it? This festival.
Oh, it totally is. I love being in Paris. It reminds me of so many beautiful things. What do you think of it?
Well, my mother used to take me to these festivals all the time when we lived in Paris, and I used to look forward to them so much. But after this, I didn't want to be seen by anyone. I was afraid that everyone would stare at me, that I'd ruin the festival.
Face and just slowly touches the scars and go, but I think you're so handsome.
In the background, Vivian's like standing like a couple feet away, and she has this raven that's kind of like flying around above Harvey, and I'm just sitting here going, and I'm writing it down furiously. Like literally a Frank notebook.
Harvey touches her hand and goes, "It's silly thoughts, I know, but I was determined not to upset anyone, so I stayed away and I took away my own happiness."
Harvey, my love, you look so nervous. What's wrong?
Robin, before I met you, I forgot what happiness felt like. I was so scared of you seeing me, but when you did, you said nothing about the scars. You never asked. It was as if they weren't there to you. And after a while, I forgot they were there too. You make me feel like I'm not ruined, Robin. I know we've only been together for a short while, but I know what I feel is true inside my heart. And
she stands up. I'm very, it's really hot in here. Maybe I should get something to drink. What do you think?
Isidore, sure. I'll go get you something. And
thank you.
Harvey goes. He goes to a vendor, and I guess, can you get a drink or something of water?
Yes, there's a stall not too far that has like it has like a variety of like teas, iced teas, hot teas, and like lemonade as well.
I think he's gonna get a tea. I guess quickly exchange. And he comes back over and he hands Robin the tea and he goes, I need to speak my mind before I lose all my nerve, Robin. I love you and I want to love you forever. I want to make you happy, and if that's all I ever did in this life, I'd be content. And Harvey gets down on his knee and he takes out a box from his pocket. He opens it up and takes out a ring, and it's a gold band with a pearl on it. And he goes, "My heart is yours, and it always will be. You have all of me, and I promise I'll always love and protect you, always. Would you do the honor of becoming my wife, Robin Banks?"
I'm sorry, I need a minute. I need a second. Okay.
There are like people who are like seeing this happen, by the way. So they're all like, there's like people around the fountain who are like kind of watching to see what'll happen as well.
For a moment, Robin stands there and looks at the gorgeous ring that she knows he picked specially for her with all the details that she's ever dreamed of. And she forgets about everything that's wrong with her life, everything that could go wrong with them, and she just, yes.
Yes! I really think Harvey did not know that this was going to happen.
He's like, just save before you fall into the fountain.
Please don't make me roll for that. Please
No, I won't. No. Like,
I think at this point, Robin just threw the tea behind her, took the ring, and jumped onto Harvey.
He takes her in his arms, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy."
There's people like around the fountain and like more people in the square who are just like, "Oh, yay!" And like there's even a few like well-wishers who have like gotten a few things from like the different vendors. Like someone got like a replacement tea for Robin, and like a few people from the flower vendors all like brought you guys flowers of like different ones. A few more like roses are given to you. Robin gets a chrysanthemum. 1 second. And a few of them have like a few well-wishing notes, like, "Oh, congratulations," and like well wishes to the newly happy couple. But there is one note that does stick out that Robin gets around the chrysanthemum. Yes.
Just give me a second. You froze for me. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, don't worry. Let's leave it like that. I received. Okay, so Robin looks at the note, and everything goes cold in her body. She hasn't read it yet, but as she opens it, she sees, and it says, "Come to tea, birdie. Café La Niche."
As you look around, you can make
smiling,
a
and she laughs.
You can make a perception roll if you'd like, if you want to see if
Where's
the person you think sent it is still around.
Palm sweaty, mom spaghetti.
These
spaghetti.
I can't believe she said yes.
I just look at you and I'm like, fuck yeah, Harvey! I told you!
So, dirty 20.
Okay, you like look around just like pretending to like look for like, "Oh, thank you so much." And by the flower stall, you see a woman exchanging money with the man who like just brought over the chrysanthemum. And she's a human woman. She stands there in like a crisp, sharp purple dress. Her back is to you, but she holds one of the same flowers, actually, a chrysanthemum in her hand, and she turns slightly, and the dark curls that are piled on her head move with her as she looks and catches your eye and like lifts the flower in a smile. And she smiles demurely, but with that stare, with like the cold, like violet eyes, she makes you feel like prey. No matter how soft her smile is,
Sexy.
feels like a threat. And she walks down one of the streets. Actually, Café La Niche was a cafe that you passed on the way here. It's only like around the corner, so it's not that far.
She's gonna take the chrysanthemum and the note, and gonna look at Harvey and say, I am gonna cry. I'm gonna have to go do my makeup again. Can you give me a minute, my love?
Absolutely, take your time. I'll be around here.
I'll be right back. I'll see you in a minute.
Alrighty.
And she slowly walks away with her fist. Oh my god, that's so good. She's angry. She's very angry right now.
Yeah, this probably isn't like a conversation that'll take long. Like maybe like the 10 minutes of like the 20 that Headmaster Shelley said that there was left. Like it's fine. You can be like a few minutes late as well. It probably wouldn't make a difference. So I'm gonna split off with Robin just for a second to get this scene done. So you go down the street just a little farther to the cafe, and the woman has just gotten a table out like on the curb. It's quite nice, and she's just like looking around, staring. She's got like the little notebook that she always carries with her, and she's just fiddling with her fountain pen, waiting.
Robin walks up to her and just stands right before the chair. She doesn't sit down yet, and she goes, "What do you want?"
Congratulations, obviously. It's not every day my daughter gets engaged.
Do you mean
Sit down
it?
here. In a way, I suppose.
She sits
Are
down.
Are you still doing it for the right reasons?
With a better sense of morality, maybe.
What benefit is there in morality, Bertie?
You know, he makes you happy. It's different than from the others.
Oh, he makes you happy. And do you make him happy?
I think he looked very happy when I said yes. Don't.
Well, don't let me keep you. If you have other things to do, I'm sure you do. If you have any second thoughts, and she slides a ticket across the table. It's a train ticket that leaves at like 10 p.m. from the city to some other train station. It's out in like the middle of nowhere. If you have any second thoughts, Mom's always here.
Well, thank you, Mother. And she takes the train ticket anyway. And she folds it, puts it in her corset, and walks away. She puts on her glasses because her eyes are full of tears now, and she doesn't want Harvey to worry when she gets back there.
Okay.
And in the meantime, you have like run up to Harvey. Just like as soon as Robin's like out of earshot, just run up and I'm like,
I did it! I didn't even need the note cards! I didn't even need them!
You didn't even need the note cards! You didn't even use them!
No!
You didn't use them! I'm so proud of you!
Sorry, I didn't use them. You did a lot of good work with it.
That means
Yeah?
you remembered
Okay.
it, Harvey. You didn't need them.
Amazing. Thank you. You're always right there to help me. I appreciate it.
While they're chatting, Valentino has like wandered up to them. He's finished taking his notes and he goes, I remember young love.
You were in love once, Valentino?
I was married at quite a young age like this one.
How did it end?
It hasn't yet.
Oh.
Let me just say, I do remember being engaged like this, though it was less public. She punched me in the face. It was very romantic.
Romantic? A punch in the face? That doesn't sound romantic to me.
Well,
start to marriage.
Well, when you meet a woman like that, it just, it hits different.
Literally, I assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
You take a lot damage from that.
Later on, she picked me up, took care of me, so it was love at first sight. What can I say?
This might be before, but are you a sugar baby?
No.
Okay.
There was a lot of hesitation there.
Seeing as my wife did not have money, that would be difficult, I believe, to be the sugar baby of a poor woman. Though she did not have money. Gosh, she had muscles. Boy, did she have muscles.
I feel like we're learning a bit too much about you now.
Well, I did just want to congratulate you on your engagement. Though your fiance seemed to have run off quite quickly.
She got really emotional, so she just wanted to clean up her makeup real quickly. That's all.
You are... Valentino just like lightly pats Harvey's shin and goes, "You were just so sweet."
It's shit!
Harvey looks down and is like, "Thank you." Thanks. So, were you saying before that she should have punched me when I proposed, or
Is that,
was that
like,
just
your
applying to
normal?
you?
I don't know.
Do you
I
think
think I know everyone's relationships.
Oh, okay. I thought,
this was a
never
really
mind.
interesting way to say congratulations? I just like to point it out.
I don't care.
I noticed.
I just like to live my life in the most weird way possible.
Headmaster Shelley is like approaching, and she's like, "I assume you're succeeding."
Thank
How
you.
did you know?
I'm glad it comes across that way.
Oh my god.
And he like
Yes.
straightens his coat, and, like buttons it up a little bit.
Yes. We're almost all inside the cathedral. Where's Robin?
She went to fix the makeup. And then Harvey starts looking around for her.
Yeah, I think she's probably approaching by now.
Oh, there she is. Look, there she is.
Ah.
She's coming.
Wonderful. We're about to head in. Are you all ready?
Harvey, I think, looks at Robin and goes, "Are you alright?"
Yes. Don't worry about me, my love. Let's go. Take my hand.
He takes her hand.
Yeah. And you are led up the steps into the cathedral, and as you walk through, there aren't as many inside as like the
Festivities?
as the celebrations outside
Yeah.
have an obvious draw. Okay. The hall is empty, save for like actually a few people who are still there to pray in some of the alcoves, and the steps of your group echo as you go down this long hall. Towards the end of the cathedral, it's slightly roped off, and around 24 people are in this little area, talking and milling around quietly amongst each other and looking contemplatively around, like the walls and the windows. Some of them are fellow students, and some are some religious leaders, some are political. There's quite a few around, but there is a specific person that Headmaster Shelley looks and stops when she sees, slightly like making sure that she looks presentable, and she starts leading the group towards a fire genasi who's standing slightly to the side in charred black robes, and he looks clearly brooding as he looks around the room. And when he sees Headmaster Shelley enter the group, his frown deepens. And she approaches, and she goes slightly into a curtsy and goes, "Hello, Judge Furlow. It's a pleasure to be welcomed into Notre Dame." And he looks down at her because she is actually shorter than him. And he looks very unimpressed with all the people who are in this little area. He looks quite not on edge in like a nervous way, on edge in like a waiting for someone to trip up way. Yes. So this is who you bring to represent your so-called modern education. And she looks levelly at him and goes, "Yes. Improved education, actually. We have some of the top students here that I wanted you to at least be familiar with, because they'll of course be quite well known in the future. These are some of the brightest of Glassrook, actually. Many you'll likely recognize as they're from renowned families. Harvey Lovelace, Indivia Decentibus. Pretend that was just me messing up and not her. Violet Liddell, Robin Banks, and a member of my administration as well. This is Valentino.
Valentino gives like a little salute when he's introduced.
And Judge Frollo doesn't even fully look at you. He
Somebody's gotta stick up his ass.
He's still just looking at the students, and he's like, you say this is modern education, and yet you bring arcane, stained, and tainted people here. Well, forgive me if I don't believe in your education. And he moves away and starts to move on. And then he pauses for a moment. And then he moves on. But when he paused, he did look back at Harvey and Vidya specifically.
I lean closer to Harvey. I can't see. I think that's pretty much part of my charm at this point. But this guy smells rank.
It's in a not nice way.
He sounds like a sewer. He sounds like a sewer.
He looks like one too. I'll give you that.
Does.
He doesn't look nice. Definitely think he looked at us a little funny.
I looked at Was it because we're so cute, that's why?
Perhaps. You know what, maybe.
He's just jealous.
Headmaster Shelley looks between you all and is like, all right, we have a few minutes. I'd recommend you mingle around here at least first, but after that, feel free to go explore the cathedral. Don't think you should go back out to the festivities, just for appearance's sake, please, because we are technically here on education and business. But try and maintain decorum, please.
I have always maintained decorum.
That's a lie.
I am your superior.
Okay.
She turns a
Only
bit
in rank.
superior.
I'm taller than you.
You are literally you are newly hired.
Yeah, and I'm in charge of them.
Sure. Whatever helps you sleep at night.
And in that, and she squats down and she's like, please do your job.
I'm doing
And then
my
she
You chose me.
and she stands back up and brushes out the wrinkles from her dress and goes, have a good evening. I'll see you back at the hotel tonight. Try and stay out of trouble if you can. And she goes to mingle among these other people. Is there anything you guys do?
Can I flip Frollo the bird real quick?
Stay out of trouble. Immediately gets into trouble.
At his back, or while he's looking at. Oh,
No, at his back, just real quick,
yeah, you do that, and I think Headmaster Shelley sees it for a second, but then she pretends not to see it.
Oh my god!
And there's
I
also,
do not see.
There's also one of the guards that have been stationed inside the cathedral who sees it and just ducks his head a little bit.
I think you just need a friend.
I give a little.
Other than that, no one really sees it.
Okay, good. I don't like him.
And he just he's holding, the guard is holding a spear and stuff, and he's like,
I don't know what you just did.
Just,
You
like,
were
gives a
frozen.
thumb
for
You're
up.
a
frozen, Lydia. You're frozen.
He's been frozen for a while.
He's holding the spear, and you know how, like, the hand is in a fist, but he just, like, puts his thumb up against the wood. Okay.
Violet does like the tiniest little curtsy in response, but very, very quickly like makes it look like. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Good.
So Frollo does actually see the guard, like, sort of like having a good time, and like goes up to him and starts like talking to him, and the guard like schools his features again. But that's just kind of what happens there. Is there anything
Can
else
I
you
roll
guys want
for
to do?
perception for Robin to go take a look at some of, if she can see like a huge window or something, to go see the colors?
Yeah, actually, this area is like right next to one of the big stained glass windows. And it's not like the sun is setting or anything. It's actually kind of noon, so like the light isn't really shining through, other than just like the faint glow of it. So like there's very soft shapes and colors that are being shown on like the stone pillars in Notre Dame.
Just gonna go stand over them and just take a look and start thinking about what it means to make someone happy.
Can, after like a few moments of Robin standing over there, can I send my raven to fly around her a little bit and kind of land on a ledge in front of her and just kind of look at her for a bit? Just where Robin is standing. And then have Vidya slowly like walk up behind and be like, "Hi, what are you looking at?"
Hi, Vidya. How are you? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't sound very happy.
No, I am. I'm ecstatic. I'm fiancé. Why wouldn't I be happy?
It's very hard to lie to a blind person, you know?
Robin, you can roll deception if you'd like.
Damn, baby, you're in for a ride. Deception. Oh,
Do I
I'm
roll
so
anything?
sorry. I got
yeah, this can be like you can try and roll perception if you would like, but that was a pretty high roll.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What was it?
25.
Oh. I don't even know if I can beat that. Let's see. Oh! Not on perception now.
She lies for a living. You can't do this to her.
I was trying to have a bonding moment.
I suppose if you wanted to try investigation, because like you're trying to like figure out what's going on, but other than that, I don't think.
Oh, if I were to roll a nat 20 and only a nat 20, could I? I'm gonna try, but that's the only way I could beat it. Or a 19.
I believe in you.
Nah, not high enough.
All right.
Natural 18.
You kind
would
of
add so much.
you kind of believe Robin for now. Like maybe like she's just like really overcome with emotion. Like you don't really see her cry regularly, so maybe this is just like a, oh my gosh, like she's so happy. She's just crying.
Okay. I think she's just like,
Okay.
yeah, I think you seem really, that was a lot. But a good a lot, right?
Yes. Vidya, and she takes her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I can make him happy?
I can't answer that for you, but do you think you can make him happy? Is that what you want to do?
She smiles and gives her more charming laugh, and she goes, Of course, he's in love with me. Why couldn't I? I've done everything right?
I think so.
Thank you, Vidya.
anytime.
Do you like the colors? Can you see them?
Yeah. They're beautiful, I'm sure.
Thank you.
I think while that was going on, Harvey is, I think, standing by Violet, and I think he's gonna go over to her and be like, "How you doing?"
Clearly not as good as you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was beginning to doubt I didn't think you'd do it, but you did it. Good job.
I was pretty doubtful myself. Didn't think I'd do it either, and didn't really think she'd say yes, but
Why wouldn't she say yes?
I don't know. I'm never really anyone's choice,
Harvey.
So
Harvey.
it's true. I mean,
Harvey,
all my life it's been that way. So why should this be any different?
Harvey, if you tell anyone that I've said this, I will rip your throat out and shove it up your ass. But that girl looks at you like you've hung the stars in the sky.
Because you did. Because you did.
Oh,
She adores you.
And I adore her.
I'd have been more surprised if she had said no.
I don't know. I think she might be a little overwhelmed. I'm gonna give her space and see if she made the right decision, just in case she wants to back out. I don't know.
Might not be a bad idea, but I don't think she's going to back out.
Thanks. Are you enjoying the scenery?
It's nice. A bit of a stick in the mud over there, but
yeah, he scares me.
You don't actually have eyes on Frollo right now. But
Fuck.
as you're talking,
fear.jpg.
kind of a heat behind you.
Fuck. Behind me, isn't he?
I didn't recognize that name at first, and he is behind you.
Ominous.
Yes, Frollo is behind you, and he's staring very intently at Harvey's face, and also turns to Violet as well. You have been so well. I do remember what happened to your great-grandmother. I do hope you don't follow in her footsteps. But you, and he looks at Harvey. Did you really think a name change would solve anything?
I don't know what you mean. My name's Harvey Lovelace. That's all there is to it.
Valentino just
Valentino just off to the side, not really part of it, just going.
playing it. He was like, if there was phones and there was games, he'd be playing a phone game right now. It would not be paying any mind. I just want to be
You got games on your phone.
Games on your phone.
And Frollo just doesn't really pay any mind to what Harvey just said, and just anything touched by Arcana, other than pure Arcana, is not to be messed. I suppose families like yours just don't learn. And he
I think Harvey is feeling a little bit of a high from getting yes to being getting a yes from Robin, and he's gonna go, I don't think you're really in any position to talk about our families.
Okay.
Yeah, Harvey. Yeah.
Fuck it up.
Sometimes I feel in situations like these that somehow I know more about your family than you.
don't know what you, but that sounds real creepy.
You don't know anything about us. Now, if you will excuse us, we have a cathedral to explore. And I grab Harvey's arm and I pull him away.
Oh God.
And Frollo just like keeps standing there and then looks for someone new to torment. I don't know. He's just off, you know?
Like, oh, look at that cat.
Can I,
That
like,
poor
can I-
baby. What if
Just to be generally awful.
can I just ask how old everyone is? I don't know how old all the students are.
Violet's like 22.
If you
I
can
think
tell me.
Harvey's 21, 22, if everyone is like in the same age range.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go for like 21, 22.
20?
Alright, I just wanted to see how, like, creepy Frodo is being right now.
Very.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's creepy to every age group.
I know,
Every
but
age is not
I'm
fair.
taking this as an attack on my children, so.
As you should.
Fair, please. Goblin Dad, save us.
These are
Understandable.
my kids.
Goblin father, please.
Someone put a fucking knee.
As she's like pulling him away, Violet's fingers are like digging into Harvey's arm.
Harvey goes, it's a little tight,
Sorry.
No, you're fine. We can pretend that never happened, right? I don't know anything, you don't know anything, alright?
No, nothing happened.
Great.
Nothing ever happens. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Nothing bad ever happens in Notre Dame. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come off harsh. I just didn't think...
No, it's not you. It's
me.
He reminds me so much of my mother. And I hear it every time I go home for the holidays, and now I have to hear it here when I'm at school.
I'm not gonna lie, he reminds me of my father. In the worst way.
Yeah.
Headmaster Shelley kind of drifts towards you because she saw there was some sort of interaction. I didn't hear anything of what he just said to you, but even without knowing that, don't pay attention to the old man. He's been like this for too long, and
He's a fucking creep is what he is.
oh, absolutely. I'd prefer actually stronger language for him. But I'd recommend you gather your friends. Go explore the cathedral. Go look at the bells or something. I don't know. I haven't really been here before either. But go find something else. Better.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Valentina's like standing behind them and keeping an eye on Frollo, and when Frollo like turns away and is not looking at him, he goes he turns back around. Watching.
So this is my shipping chart. I have this one for Phelan and for Bonnie, and it makes kind of a heart, you see, right? I'm showing Robin my notebook. It makes kind of a heart, you see. A little.
Yes. Oh, that makes perfect
Right?
sense.
I said that they should have a
I
date
just
here
see
because
it.
the way the light would hit,
Mhm.
it would hit Phelan's face. Amazing.
Amazing.
You know, Phelan has an okay face, but Bonnie's gorgeous. That pink hair of hers, beautiful.
Pink hair is really pretty.
But if I could get my hands on Phelan, anyway.
That's not little
yes, I
hostile.
think-
Anyway, that's further than I wanted to go. Anyway, back to the charts. Look here, I have drawn a little unicorn.
Oh my god.
That's what we were doing in the meantime.
I think Harvey kind of like makes sure that Violet's okay, and he goes, I'm gonna go see my fiance, so I hope you have a fun time.
Go. Enjoy yourself. You do deserve
Thank you. Thank you, Violet. And he goes off and he slowly approaches Vidya and Robin and he goes, "You guys having fun?"
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes, a lot of fun.
What you guys talking
Aren't
about?
we?
Can you say that again?
What you guys talking about?
Oh, my charts about Phelan and Bonnie.
Oh, aren't they great, Robin? Vidya has everything planned out. She knows exactly where to do dates and everything. She's great at
I
that.
know I've noticed some of them look very much like the ones you've taken me to. It's lovely. It's
I'm gonna
really
go see
lovely.
what Valentino's doing. I wonder how short he is by comparison to me, and if I could punch him. Goodbye. And I run.
And once you get over to him, he's like, I heard that, right?
No, you didn't. He's like, I'm blind. You can't hurt me.
Harvey looks at Robin and he's like, no, you see, I told Vidya about our dates and then she writes them down. That's how it goes.
Ah, that's how it goes then. Well, I think my favorite must be the ones when you take me to the picnic by the park and the flowers.
I think that one was my favorite one too. Are you feeling all right after everything? I didn't want to spring it on you like that, but I felt like if it didn't do
Stops him and gives him a kiss on the cheek right away, and she's like, "I'm perfectly fine.
Oh.
I'm very, very happy." She takes his hand and puts it to her chest. Do you want to go take a look to the cathedral?
I'd love to. Yes.
Perfect. You decide where we go. I'll let you take the decisions today.
I say let's go to the bells.
All right.
Do Violet, Vidya, and Valentino? What a trio. Do you see them going and follow them at all, or do you stay in this sort of area?
Aldion's like, not Aldion.
Aldion! My other father.
My other dad character.
Are we allowed to go with them,
Valentino.
or are they going on their own? I thought we were gonna stay together. I also wanted to go to the bells.
Yeah, as sappy as these two are, and I feel like they're giving me a cavity, I feel like I should keep an eye on all of you with that fucking creep roaming around.
The one that stinks?
The one that stinks! I know, right? He smells worse than a New York street rat.
I had never smelled a New York street rat, but I believe you because he's
You don't
quite
want to.
nasty.
You don't want to.
Nasty, some could say.
They're bigger than you think.
Wait, what is that? You're pretty small. What does that mean to you?
Have you ever seen like a medium-sized dog?
I'm blind.
Have you ever felt a medium-sized dog?
Sure. No, actually not. I actually haven't. I thought I said yes and then I considered it. I don't.
Alright, so
I'm gonna lose
Valentino
my mind.
like taps her kneecap, like right above her kneecap, and is like, "They're about this tall."
Okay. Wait, that's a big rat.
It's a fucking big rat. You're right.
That.
Rats do not exist.
Yes, they do.
You could ride
They do.
that.
You're trying to tell me that
Right,
you're trying to tell me that
right.
big rats don't exist. You're gonna look me in the eyes and tell me that big rats don't exist.
Yes! No, they do not exist.
They absolutely exist.
I would like to see it.
You wouldn't, because that motherfucker would eat your ankles.
I think this is a conversation
Are you
that's
letting
actually
us-
happening while you guys are going up the stairs.
Yeah.
I like Pat Valentino. Do you not have any ankles?
I have ankles.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
We're
tech
going
break.
on a little tech
Cool.
break, guys. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
wonderful tech break we had. What lovely memories.
It was the friends we made along the way.
Waiting for it.
So Robin and Harvey go up this side staircase that you guys kind of find.
No sound.
Oh,
No sound.
No
We're
sound.
saying no sound in the like they can't hear us at all. Okay.
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 Continue.
Okay. So you go into like a sort of side staircase that you kind of find that leads a little ways up, and eventually you get to sort of the rafters area of Notre Dame, and it is beautiful. Like the sun is like just past noon, so like the shadows are starting to shift and the sun is starting to cast shadows through the arches and the columns of the roof. Although it's not quite the roof, it's still like the closed-in area. And around this place, it's pretty well kept. There isn't like a lot of things. There's like some areas that obviously look like storage. But as Harvey and Robin, as you just walk through, it's very peaceful, as you can still hear like some slight sounds from like the marketplace, and it's very calming to you both.
This is nice.
Yes, yes. I think so. She's holding his hand a little tighter as they're walking. Harvey?
Yes.
And she's it's nothing bad. And she pulls him closer. Have you been talking to Phelan?
The occasion. I mean, we do get coffee together in the mornings and things like that.
And she doesn't mention me, right?
Oh, no. No.
You would tell me if she talked about me.
Yes. I mean, she has on the occasion.
What does she say?
I don't really want to talk about it. I know it's not anything to worry about, you know. It's...
Well, Harvey, I'm asking you a question, so I'm asking you to answer it.
She doesn't like you very much, and she thinks that you're only with me to take my money.
I knew it! It's always like that with them.
But I don't think that. I don't think that at all. You know I don't think that.
She put that idea in your head. What am I gonna do? You're gonna start thinking that I am like that.
I wouldn't have proposed to you if I thought that, you know?
You might change with time. What do I know?
I'll never change.
Well,
I'll never change. This is me. This is who I am. I'll be like this always. I
Did we hear this, by the way?
You're just walking right behind them.
Yeah, the Valentino, Violet, and Lydia are like coming up the stairs, and like this is like an open area, so like y'all aren't like hiding. You aren't really expecting other people to come up here either. But they kind of come out like still talking about like what size these rats are.
The three V's are left alone to their own devices. We discuss rats.
So yeah, Harvey's just saying, he's like, I'll be like this always. I'll be your Harvey. I promise.
She takes his hand. Oh, Harvey. I dropped my dice. I yeeted that with an apple. Wow. Anyways, no rolling for me for the rest of the game. Thank you, Lydia.
Yeah.
She takes me.
All I have is the D4. Let's see how many times I should roll this.
She takes him and she says, Oh, how I want to believe you so bad. I do. I really do.
Believe me, have I?
She looks and she sees the group behind them
We're all
coming
like
closer.
pointedly looking in opposite directions.
No,
Valentino,
Valentino's
I
like
bet he's
looking
looking straight at him.
directly at them, and he's like gesturing for her to continue. He's like, no,
We're like,
Her expression changes as she sees Valentino, and she goes cold, just like her mother. Suddenly, her eyes are cruel. She goes like, "Yeah, never mind. I didn't say anything."
And
And she keeps walking, but she hasn't let go of his hand. She's still holding his hand, but she starts walking away from the group.
Harvey follows silently.
I lean really close to Violet. I kind of saddle up. That was really very awkward.
Yes, it was. Oh dear.
Y'all are just full of drama.
I thought it was all going okay.
I thought
feel
so
like
too. You had all your little plans in your notebooks.
I had so many plans. I planned for everything.
Did you plan for this?
No, which is surprising. I normally plan for everything. But people are weird and fickle. Surprising sometimes.
You are correct.
I feel like I'm on a
Let us
roller
ring the
coaster.
bells.
I know.
As the two groups kind of go further in to this area, you see like more and more storage like on either side, and like in these little like actually closed off rooms ish, and you do come to the point that like goes up to the bells, and the area around here is pretty strange. It shifts to like wood amid the stone and such, but there's certain places on the stones where it's scorched. It also maybe looks like this is more like purposeful, like the things in the room and everything. The rafters go up towards more of the bells, and there's like certain areas that are like kind of curtained off, and there's like small things, like there's actual like a chair set off to the side with like a longer table there with like a few things, like it looks like someone's actually been living here, and it's a nice area.
What are the burn marks like? Are they
They're kind of spread out to like imagine like a cone area, like it went out from a certain point, and they go like a few feet, but in like some areas, like there's like two on the floor a little ways away. There's like what looks like some soot was like brushed against one of the walls, like maybe there was someone who was like against there for a second, and one or two places like on a different wall that like just has like a small burst radius of like 6 inches or so.
Valentino's gonna walk up to the area that has like the soot on it and like run his finger through it, like look at it, or turning around and going, "How much you want to bet that that Frollo guy had a tantrum up here, like the big baby he is?"
2 gold.
Can you make a dex save?
Oh shit! Yeah.
3 gold.
Ooh, gotta look at my dexterity. I got an 11.
Nervous.jpg.
Panics.
Okay, so you're pretty small, so you realize like standing there for a bit, because y'all have been like moving pretty steadily, other than like that one part where Harvey and Robin were like talking, but as you stand there, you sort of like realize that you're a little bit shorter than usual, and you look down and you see that the stone has kind of softened and you're going into it.
Oh my god.
Fuck me.
Yeah. You're like an
That's
inch or
inappropriate.
two in it. But you're about like an inch or two with like your shoes there.
Am I able to get out on my own, or do I have to request assistance?
You can try and get out of your shoes. You can try and do just a dex roll in general. Is anyone else kind of standing around?
Yeah.
I think,
watching it.
Harvey and Robin are standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
I just
gotta make
love the
dex.
concept that y'all are just watching me sink.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robin,
Well, I don't
please.
think anyone else.
Absolutely.
Just
think
know
anyone else
I'm
really
not
noticed
watching you
either.
sink.
Disrespectful.
I'm not watching you sink. It's just.
Only got a 5. That's fine.
Oh god.
Not
Oh
good.
no.
Oh, yeah, you like try and like
Arm is
get
frizzled.
out of your shoes while they're still stuck in like this near like wet concrete level like stickiness. And you just try and like bend over, but you end up just kind of like curling up into a ball, and you like sink a few like inches lower. You're about like 4 inches deep, so like you're almost like the bottom half of your leg, at least over your ankles. Yeah.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
What a way to go. Can
the
I
rest
have
of you
Harvey
are,
roll
like, yeah, the
to
rest
see
of
if he
you-
notices?
Yeah. You probably would, because like he is like just like so visibly like in there. But the rest of you are heavier than this 3-foot goblin.
Oh,
So y'all need
Can-
to do dex saves as well.
can
Oh,
I'm actually a tiefling with wings. Can Vidia try and like fly close enough to grab Valentine's arms and fly up without touching the ground? My 5 feet's like 30 feet up.
Yeah, you can try. I think you still need to roll a dex though.
Sure. A dex save or a check, or I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Probably just a check, I think.
18 plus 3, 21.
All right. So like your feet that were were touching the stone were like actually a few inches deep, like the same level that Valentino is at. But you like move up with like a burst of your wings, and like do you think I'll say like maybe someone else notices this. The stone like also still reaches for you, like, and from the way it looks, it almost looks like it's like at least one of them looks like a hand.
Fuck this
but
shit, I'm out.
But you do get out of it, and you are like above the stone now. So, I think you need another dex or athletics to get Valentino out of the stone
Okay.
as well.
I've chosen dex. It's okay.
Or athletics.
I've chosen death. Is that what you just said?
No.
Bird.
Along.
Valentino
gonna
just
go
like
with
lies spread eagle in the stone.
He's just sinking.
15
Salute.
for dex.
15?
Yeah.
He is like a few feet down, and you do see now better, like with that, or I guess you don't see. Everyone else sees that like the same sort of thing, but like the stone is like moving up now, not just Valentino sinking down. So I think you're about even. Like he's not sinking anymore, but he is like he's still like curled up in a ball, and his arms are like his hands are like in the stone too now.
I think I need a little bit of help here.
Harvey
Just
and
let me go.
Robin.
I can die. That's fine.
No!
Harvey, Robin, and Violet are.
Please, I feel
Can
like
you
we'll get
roll
in
dex?
trouble.
Yeah.
Detention. If we die here, we're gonna go to detention.
That's rough. I'll be dead. That won't bother me.
Oh, but
21.
hold it.
21.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you are probably stronger than a goblin.
I'm very small.
I think you can definitely like get one of the feet out, but like that does kind of move one of them a little bit lower.
He's gonna use his lanky limbs to just like reach out and
Quite a
grab
sight.
him.
I'm just like floating slightly above there, like, please, God, pull the leg out. What the hell, this tiny goblin?
Oh my gosh.
This is fine.
So I get one leg out.
Yeah, you get one leg
Can
out.
I cast Bardic Inspiration on Harvey to get the other one out?
Doesn't that just mean reroll?
You add a d6 to a roll.
Yeah, add a d6.
Add a
Another
d6.
roll to another roll.
Well, I don't. It would just kind of put
Okay.
the other one also. I just don't want you to you spend your bardic inspiration when this
Okay.
when he will still be slightly stuck anyway.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna
Okay.
take back forward. Honey, you are doing great. I'm not saying anything. Keep doing what.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it helpful if I like grab Harvey around the waist and I like try to help him pull back, or is that helpful?
This is
Because I don't have any
think-
spells that can do anything.
yeah, this is a sticky situation.
Ha!
And with how like how much y'all are all just like fighting against it, it does just you do sink lower again, like not just a few inches now, like for all the human shape, like Valentino, you're like completely in the stone, but you can still breathe, which is strange.
Can I talk?
Am I falling into the stone now as I'm holding
yeah,
on to
your
Valentino's back?
Your hands are like
Oh,
still
no.
like wrapped around Valentino's, so like you start like getting pulled down as well.
Do you guys
and-
think we're gonna get in trouble if we lose Goblin Father to the stone? I don't
Just
know
let
if
me
that,
go.
like, counts on the list of things we're not supposed to do.
Can I roll to see? Like, I want Harvey to just call out and be like, "Is whoever's doing this is? We don't mean because he saw the hands, and I feel like he's like, this isn't normal. The police is coming alive, and he's like, he's gonna talk to the room, and he's gonna be like, I'm sorry if we walked in on your room uninvited. Do you want us to leave? Because we'll leave. You don't need to hurt us. We're not here to hurt you.
I was gonna say, can I start talking to the stone?
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Stone.
Just-
Do you like macaroons?
I got a lot.
You hear a sort of voice in the wind as like you continue to sink, and like you're almost like you're sinking like a little bit faster, and like most of you are like at least to your chest, but as you like sink lower, you hear a voice like it almost sounds like bells. Safe. And you sink down. You can feel yourself like travel through this stone in like the weirdest version of a pool you've ever felt. It feels like a combination of like just traveling through a face mask of like something very gritty, like touching your face and like just moving very quickly through it. And as you like fall a little further, you feel yourself suddenly pop out back into like an actual like air-filled environment. And you fall into like a sort of sorry, I'm just trying to change the music. You fall into like a dark room. Like you can't see anything in here. There's like it's got like a weird almost glow in the dark feeling. of like you can't look directly at the light because it doesn't feel like it's there, but like out of the corner of your eye you can kind of tell that this is like a sort of cave room.
Did we all fall in this room, by the way?
Yes, you
Okay.
all fell down. If you wanna, I feel like Vidya probably actually just floats down because she suddenly feels like there's air around her wings again. But the rest of you fall about like 10 feet or so and just like fall onto like this cave floor.
I die. I'm a wizard.
You know
I am
the
suddenly deceased.
the sandworm from SpongeBob. Ouch. That's what I'm thinking of.
Anyway.
Sorry, continue.
Continue weaving your narrative.
Yes. On the top of the cave, because you're all just sort of like laying there for a minute, you can see that there is like a curve on the ceiling. It looks like a C. And if the voice of God could pull up the thing that I made to the screen. There's there's a C on the ceiling, and there is like a slight glow in this room, but there's really not much other than that you can really see, unless you have dark vision. Who here has dark vision?
I think I do.
I think Vidya does as well, if Gratia is also there. Does Valentino have dark vision?
I think so, but I don't have an actual sheet for goblins.
Understandable. I think he probably does as well.
I do not.
So you can. Okay. Vidya and Valentino can see that this is like a roughly shaped room. It's a pretty circular, and there are two not doors, but sort of darker tunnels that go and branch out to the sides.
I think in the meantime, Harvey was searching for Robin, just in the dark. He's like, where are you? Making sure that she's okay.
She's still like touching her legs, and she's like, I think I'm in one piece. I'm not.
That's great.
Right?
That's great. I can't see you, but I'm hoping you're all right. And he's just holding her hands.
You're so cute.
If we want to like take a break before we get into this next part, I think this would probably be a good time for that.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
Is that good? All right. So a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back in a minute.
Oh yeah.
You guys.
Welcome back to Frankenpunk. The group has fallen down through Notre Dame into a sort of cave of some sort with 2 tunnels leading off into the corners. And there's a slight glow to the cave, but not much to actually see by, just to know the general shape. What do y'all do?
So what is in the room that we're in?
Everyone going. We're all talking.
What is in the room that we're in?
What? What is the room that we're in? Okay.
Yeah.
It's generally circular. And there is like the thing that's slightly giving a glow is a curve in the top of the cave. It's not quite visible. It does have like that glow in the dark, like star sort of aspect to it of like you can't look directly at it while it's glowing because then it doesn't look like it's glowing. But that's that. And then the 2 tunnels going off, you can't quite see much in them, but you do see that they're two options.
On Vidia's shoulder, she has this raven that is kind of smoky-ish with a little bit of air coming off of it. Can I lean closer and say, Grazia, go check the right one? And I send her off, and I will kind of perch in place and like stop moving as I see through her eyes and have her go through one of the entrances just to peek a little further down.
Okay, the right one is the one that's going down on the map. She goes in there and looking around, she sees that this is like a similar room, and there's 3 tunnels, one going forward, one going to the left, and one going right. Yes, and there is a similar glow to this room.
Okay, I relay that to everyone. Like I'm just saying everything that I'm seeing. Just like go to the room, blah blah blah.
Tell her, see if she can find anybody, because I heard a voice. I don't know if anyone else heard it, but they said safe before we fell.
I'll say come back and go the other way. To the other entrance. That's
so to the other one?
Yeah,
okay.
come back.
So she comes back into the sea cave, and she goes down the other option into the next cave, and it's very similar, but this one also only has 2 options, one going to the right and one going forward. And this one also has a similar glow to it, and you realize that it's actually because it also has a shape at the top of the room as well. This one looks like an H.
Wait a second.
Oh, we're getting a puzzle. Fuck.
The one here
Write that down.
you said was
Yeah.
like a C, right?
C
Yeah.
here, an H there. Was there one in the other way?
Yes, there was actually. There was one on the top that was an N.
My time has come.
In.
Hold on, when you have a word puzzle.
Does she hear or see anyone? Any signs of life besides Speck in the other room?
Roll perception.
Okay. Hers is a +3. I'll be a 14.
You can't tell if there is anyone there, but it doesn't feel like you're alone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, that's lovely. That's lovely. I love everything about that. I let them know that as well.
Interesting.
Oh, good.
Does
But
anyone
there
have
is
a
like
torch?
nothing. There is nothing in the H or the N room.
So C is our only option.
Well, I mean,
There's
you're
nothing
already
in there.
C.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
We're in C.
That's where you're
and we
starting.
can go to inner H, but there's nothing in there. I will say, does anyone have a torch in their inventory?
There are multiple like tunnels going off, but
Yeah.
you don't really know how to navigate this place yet.
But
The
anyone have a light magic or a
The
torch in their
tinderbox. I got a tinderbox.
That could light something if
I
someone.
don't know what
And
I
a
have. Let me see.
torch. Yeah. Harvey will light a torch.
Hey.
Way to go, Harvey.
With the torch, I'll take that to just mean like the British version of a flashlight.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a torch.
Harvey.
You have a little flashlight.
Harvey's got a flashlight. Click,
Yes.
click.
He's a prepared boy, a little Boy Scout.
Absolutely.
Yes, and you can see the tunnels a little ways, but the light doesn't go too far. But you can see there's like nothing really in the tunnels.
I
So-
think we just gotta pick one and go.
Agreed. So both the H and the N have tunnels in them.
Yeah, there's 3 in one and
Yeah.
2 in the other.
Yes.
Why don't we go in the one with 2?
Yeah,
Let's
less places to
choose.
look.
Great
Smart.
idea.
Thank you, darling.
So you go into the H room, and again, it's very similar. Like, the only difference is that the glow is in a shape of an H instead of what was apparently a C in the first room. There's a slightly, actually, there is a difference. It glows slightly brighter in here as you enter it.
I think that means good things.
Hopefully.
We can.
Let's go this way. And I pick one of the two ways.
Alright, do you choose to go forward or to the side?
Forward.
Okay, so you go forward, and you enter the room, and immediately the flashlight actually does catch on someone.
Come on.
Yes, there's someone sitting on the floor of the cave, of just like the corner of the cave. It's this dark-skinned, she has curly dark hair twisted around sharp ears with sections braided back with pieces and bits of metal holding them in place with like a small bun near the back of her head. And she's slumped in like a stiff position. And it might be assumed that like she's just sitting there, but she's very tense. She's very like on edge because she clearly heard someone else in the tunnels as well. She's got a brown corset with a slightly frilly shirt on, and her skirt is pulled down, but she does have her hand tensed at her hip. And she has some the skirt is red as well. And she looks up, and her eyes like squint for a second against like the bright light that's suddenly there, because she's pretty unused to it, apparently. Who are you?
I'm Vidya. Who are you?
Who's asking?
Vidya. I'm asking. And these are my friends. They are also asking.
She's kind of caught off guard, and she moves to like away a little bit, but she like tenses a bit, and you look down at her feet, and it looks like they're kind of bloody.
I think Harvey is immediately going to like lower the flashlight so it's not in her face, and he's just gonna slowly approach, and he's gonna be like, "We don't mean any harm. We were in the bell tower, and we got pulled down here by some stone. We're from a school. We're traveling, and we don't really know how we ended up here. How did you get here? Are you all right?"
She pauses for a second, and she goes, Did you see anyone else in the bell tower?"
"No, I heard a voice, though."
I was out of Paris for a moment, a few days ago. And when I came back, I wanted to check on a friend, and they weren't there. I've been here for about a day, looking around the tunnels. I've been, before I sort of fell through the stone, I ran into one of Judge Frollo's traps.
Traps.
My feet.
Oh, can Harvey ask? He's gonna say, "Can I heal you? Is that all right?"
She pauses and goes, "Yes. Go ahead."
Ooh. Okay. Cool. Is that medicine, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a 24.
Oh yeah. Her
It's a
feet
boss heel.
are like quickly like smoothed over as like a soft glow kind of emanates. And she looks and she's like, you use Arcana as well?
Yes. I'm a cleric, actually, learning to be one. Hopefully.
That's wonderful. It's not very typical that Arcana users are welcomed. That is typically what.
I think that's what we're here for, actually.
I wouldn't say we were welcomed.
We weren't welcome, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what we're here for. We're all students who study in varying ways. Arcana.
Maybe you, introductions first. I am Esmeralda. It's nice
I'm
to meet you.
Vidya. I stated that before.
Yes, you did.
It's very nice to meet you, Esmeralda. Yeah, we met Frollo a while ago. He didn't like us very much.
He was stanky.
Frollo likes
Nasty
no one
man.
but himself. For no one else meets his standards except for him.
Who are we looking for?
Technically Frollo's ward, my friend Quasimodo. He protected me for a time against Frollo. And I was intending to repay the favor. He is also an arcane user, but Frollo, his views are no one should use Arcana except for the church, because no one else is equipped to handle it, because the church is gifted by God, etc.
Sounds like a
Which
bitch.
Yes, which is why he is so against my people. We have heritage in conjunction with Arcana. The only reason we had to leave our lands was partly because it was corrupted by strains. But Quasimodo, he is sort of a natural-born user. I think a changeling is what it's called. The way that changelings sort of use Arcana is they can absorb it, and if you're taught young enough, you know how to redirect it outside of your body. But if you don't learn that, then your body starts to just keep absorbing it, which caused Quasimodo to malform in a way. He was punished whenever he learned a way to expel Arcana from his body. So I only left for a few days. I meant to come back and smuggle him out of Notre Dame. I knew that if I could find him a place to learn, I thought perhaps my people might be able to help, but I haven't found him.
Do you think he's down here?
Maybe? I don't know. I've wandered the tunnels, but there's only so far I could go with my feet.
And you mentioned traps.
Yes.
What sort of traps?
Well, Frollo was fond of leaving glass after certain doorways which weren't regularly used, because I had previously taken off my shoes to move quieter around Notre Dame.
And were these traps upstairs or down in these tunnels?
Upstairs. Of the few rooms that I've been in, I haven't seen any.
Interesting. Have you discovered anything else in these tunnels? Have you noticed things on the ceilings?
Yes. I'm not exactly familiar with written words, so
no worries.
I can tell that they are letters, but I do not really know what they spell, if they can spell anything.
Interesting. Valentino's like furiously scribbling in his notebook at the moment.
I'm like leaning over to look. I'm just peering very much in Valentino's space, just like, what you doing?
I believe that the letters on top of these caves are important in some way. At the moment, we only have 3 syllables with no vowels, therefore we cannot have any words yet.
You actually look up to while you're thinking, you just look up and there is an A at the roof of this room.
I just heard a shuffle. Write that down.
Write that down.
Furiously scribbling. Do you need another pen? I've got a glitter pen right here.
Okay. An A.
I think Harvey leans into Esmeralda and goes, "While you were away, do you think Frollo did something to Quasimodo?"
I hope not. But
We saw, he's not a very nice man, and if he doesn't like people using arcane magic, I can't imagine he likes Quasimodo very much.
yeah.
Do you think he knew that you were trying to get him away from here?
It's
That he found out?
possible? I just know that Quasimodo has been in pain in the weeks previous. I just thought,
Listen, while I was upstairs and we were all in the bell tower, I asked if anyone was there because we saw the stone had hands and I heard someone say safe. And it was sounded like bells almost. Is that familiar to you?
Quasimodo worked the bells. That was his job here. I also heard I heard that too when I fell. It sounded like him.
You think he's trying to keep us safe?
It's possible.
Maybe he can hear us right now.
It is possible.
We'll try talking to him.
Quasimodo, can you hear us? Quasimodo, we just want to talk. Promise, we'll be nice.
You don't hear anything or see anything really different in the caves. The only difference, and I want to clarify that only one person can actually hear this. Only Violet can hear soft ticking that grows louder. And as she looks around to her companions to see if they also hear it, she sees you guys, like, as you're talking and just also looking around just for any change, that you're actually slowing down. The others are all just, like, slowing down and almost moving to, like, a crawl. And there's a soft light that emanates from a room that's just off to the side of this room. And with the ticking stopping, everyone else is frozen except for you. And there's a soft light that comes from that room off to the side.
Hello?
You know, I really hope lateness doesn't run in the family. I don't want this to become a trend.
I'm sorry? Have we met?
Are you coming? Oh, no, not us. I did know your family, though. Do come in. Don't be shy.
Are they going to be alright?
Yes, of course.
Can I do an insight check real quick?
Yeah.
This is so fucking cool. I'm living.
Someone in the chat was just like Snape.
It's a 19.
You can tell this voice has like, there's like an instinctual like, this is something dangerous, but also you can tell it doesn't mean you harm.
Okay. 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 All right. Cool. Okay. It's coming from that like little side room with the light.
Yes, it's
Okay.
just a room off the side, and it has a soft blue light that comes out of it.
Okay. This is fine. I'm going to very quickly just can I prepare poison spray and then
Yes.
go into the room? Okay, cool. So I just kind of like roll my fingers in my hand, and this like stream of acid green smoke just kind of starts to swirl around my hand, and I just kind of keep my hands moving. I'm almost like directing the smoke around me, and I just give one last glance back just to make sure that everyone's okay, and then walk forward into the room. Oh boy, I'm gonna die.
And you walk in, and it's an emptier area, but it's very clean, and actually like, instead of like the dirt cave floor, it's like like a tile, almost mosaic like. And an elegant sort of table, like a wire, like almost like a garden table, like a set, with the table and the two chairs across from each other sit in the middle of the room. And at one of the chairs, it's occupied by like a 3-foot tall white rabbit, in a vest, which is like nicely patterned with a landscape, but when you actually look at the pattern, you can't understand it. Like the threads shift in your eyes, and you can't really keep the image of like, what sort of landscape is this? It shifts from like a desert to a garden to almost anything. And it's very confusing. And he stands and like looks back at you. Take a seat. I don't bite.
Pardon my caution, and I suppose I will pull out a chair and just very gingerly sit down.
One second. And he looks up from his cup. Chamomile? Earl Grey?
I'm all right.
Oh, you're taking too long. Have Earl Grey. You know, the Little Elves have always been a curious bunch. I suppose you do have questions. I'd rather you get yours out of the way before I ask any of mine.
You know my family?
Of course. We go way back.
I don't mean to be rude. I've never heard anyone mention you.
Oh, yes. Names do get forgotten. I do change mine quite quickly. They just get very boring very quickly. Who can help it? But I will choose one. For you, of course. Call me Blanc.
Oh, all right. So, what happened to my friends back there?
Oh, I just wanted to put pause on things. It's very distracting when you have so many different people asking questions, and I do like a quick pace, but sometimes so many people can be so annoying. I prefer one-on-ones.
Uh-huh. So they're going to be all right, though. They're not.
Oh no, they're not stuck like that. I
Okay.
can just, well, and he shows his little pocket watch, which is seemingly broken because it's not really moving. And he's like, click of the finger, really. Comes in handy quite often.
Uh-huh. I'm...
Yes, I can tell. This is a little overwhelming. I am a friend of sorts, really. Family friend. We go way back.
As you've said.
Yeah. Well, when I say way back, I knew your great-grandmother. I was a sort of friend of hers. We had some good times. She did some research for me. I did some favors for her. I was just curious whether you wanted to continue this sort of exchange. I simply know you like to push some boundaries.
I suppose that's a word for it. I just like to know what's going on.
Exactly. And I could feel that. I had the same sort of deal with your great-grandmother. She loved to know things. And she did know things. She grew to know a great many deal of things. I simply extend the possibilities. See, I help with the rubber band aspect of it. I mean, Arcana has effects on the mind, on the body, as you can perfectly well see. I simply want to make your rubber band stretch farther. I don't want to see you snap. If you would also like to see that not happen, I extend my services. And rest assured, I'm not asking for an answer right now. I do have a patient of sorts. I simply wanted to make my offer known.
And what exactly does that entail? Making the rubber band not snap?
Well, it becomes a sort of added-on engine of a sort. I can take a percentage of what might go to you. I can keep the engine moving smoother, quicker. I don't know. I'm not really an inventor. I have a friend who's more of that, but I don't really know. I mainly am interested to see what sort of answers you might find. I mean, you bunch are fascinating. Any kind of person, really. I am fascinated by all of you. Because, I mean, your sheer audacity is just bounding. I mean, you yourself, you already feel like you know it all. And here I am asking if you want to know more.
I don't think I know it all, actually. I'm very aware that there's much left to learn, but... I'm sorry, you said you knew my great-grandmother?
Oh, yes. God, she could stretch far. She was a special kind of rubber band.
Zooey mama.
Awooga.
I would like to make it clear, this rabbit did not fuck your great-grandmother.
Thank God. Okay.
I have to make that clear.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, good. Thank God. All right, cool. I was gonna be like, oh no, great grandma was a furry.
Oh no.
And
See, your grandmother is different in that aspect of then. She didn't know her limits, even when I extended them. I mean, she was the type of person to look at a tree and think she understood its roots. She'd look at a machine and think she understood the blueprint. I'm intrigued that you're not the same.
Well, I grew up hearing the stories of how badly she ruined things. So, I'm doing my best to not be like her, I suppose.
Shame.
I've never met the woman. I don't know anything about her.
I know. Don't you want to? I'll tell you this. You're more like her than you give yourself credit for. And that's not an insult. That's a compliment. Listen, I just know from experience, changelings have a hard time controlling themselves. Changelings are better rubber bands than others. But there's always going to be a point when they snap. I'll be the first to admit that knowledge is dangerous, but it does open quite a few doors. Again, I just wanted to make my offer known, and I do think we might be running out of time.
Do we have time for 2 more questions?
I'll make time, sure.
What would you have me do in exchange for you stretching my limits?
That is a good question. I suppose we'll both have to think on that. I'd like to ask you, what is your limit?
I don't need a safe word.
Going back to 35 business days. Thank you very much.
I don't know. I've never really been allowed to explore it.
To explore them.
Alright. And the second question. You're looking for changelings? Specifically or just me? Because there's another one here, apparently, reportedly.
No, I'm just looking at you.
The
other rubber band has snapped.
Quasimodo!
In any case, we're out of time. They snap the watch shut, and you hear the, music. No, not the music. You hear the ticking again as everything sort of speeds up, and the chair and table start to like disintegrate out of like the metal that they were made, as like the rabbit also waves its paw and stands up, smacks its paw against the wall, and a hole opens up for a moment, and it sprints through it, and then the hole disappears with its exit, and nothing is really left in this room that was in it for a moment ago.
Motherfucker dead.
But the rest of you noticed that for like a second, Violet was there, and then she's just sort of gone.
Where did Violet go? And like Harvey's doing his flashlight around the room.
Violet, you're just in the next room.
I swear it's not my fault. I was not looking at her.
Can't see.
Harvey calls out, Violet?
Violet on reflex like whirls around with like the smoke like still around her hand.
Oh god.
I'm still in the next room. I can't see them.
Yeah, any light that was in this room is gone as well. There's no glow in this room, actually.
Okay. I don't have dark vision, so I'm just kind of stuck.
You can see like the flashlight moving against like the short tunnel in there.
Harvey?
And then Harvey goes and follows where her voice is coming from. There you are. Are you all right?
I suppose I'll find out.
Right. As long as you feel good and everything else is good, come back with us so we don't get split up again. I don't think it'd be smart to do that down here.
Right. She like shakes her hand out, and the smoke dissipates from around her hand. Right. We might want to find Quasimodo quick.
I suspected that. All right. Do you have any ideas?
I think we should go down to the next room.
Yeah.
I have an idea, and I need to confirm it.
All right.
The next...
The one down from A.
Yeah, the one directly below. Yeah. You enter in, and it's bigger than, like, the rest. It's, still, like, illuminated the same amount, though, with an N. And it glows a little brighter than, the previous room, again.
Interesting.
As we walk, I think Vidya, kind of, like, slowly scoots closer to, Violet and grabs her, like, the edge of her sleeve with her hand and just, like, looks at her, like, picking up your glasses, and you can see her white, pupilless eyes. You okay? Not now?
I might have gone a bit mad for a second there.
Nothing wrong with that. Unless it's not a good kind of mad.
Not in my family.
That's fair. Well, just remember, we're right here. We're all right here.
Right.
I think I need to check out the other room as well. Sorry to keep us moving along, but...
Yes, there's
come on.
two
She's
other
gonna
tunnels
keep a
that are
hold on
sprouting
her.
out in front of you.
She keeps a hold on her sleeve. Like, come on.
Violet's gonna reach down and like lace their fingers together and just kind of give like a little squeeze. If you don't
Valentina's
mind.
gonna wander off to the room that connects the two ends. That's in between the two ends.
Yeah. He goes in there, and there's an eye in there.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yes. It's like the same level of like light that was in the first room with C. So it's dimmer than the two that the four that like you just went through.
Interesting.
Valentina, what's the theory?
I don't know. Initially I thought maybe it was trying to spell out the word change. And I thought the next letter would be a G. But we got two N's and an I. So now I have to restart.
I suppose there's more that is to figure out.
You can keep going.
It's true.
More letters will probably help.
Interesting.
From the eye room, there's like 5 tunnels in total. And there's one going to the H room that you know. There's one to each N. And then there's 2 others sprouting down.
Interesting. Valentina's gonna turn to the rest of them and be like, well, where do you think we should go?
I say maybe...
Eeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, let's go left.
Left it is.
So your left, you go down left, you mean?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah, the one connecting the N and the I. Or the other one. Yeah, I think that one.
Okay, so you go down and you enter a room and there is a G on the ceiling.
I knew there was a G!
You're doing amazing.
And from there, there's 3 other tunnels. One that goes down, to N. There's one that goes down in front of you, and then there's one off to the side. So there's like 4 in total, but one goes to the I, one goes to the N, and then there's 2 that go off to new ones.
I still don't have an E. Interesting.
Let's go back and go the other way. And the whole time, Vidya keeps her fingers laced, with Violet just pulling her along.
So you go to L. Yeah. You go to the room that has an L on the ceiling. And that connects to... That has like 3 other tunnels. So one that goes back to the first N, one that goes down, and then another one that goes down.
Changeling.
You think so?
I think so. The only thing that makes sense, seeing as this Quasimodo was a changeling, and then with the letters we've got C-H-A-N-G, an I, and now an L. And a second N. I thought maybe it was just change. I'm starting to think this is going to spell out changeling.
Some of the letters are brighter than others, right?
Correct. It seems that the H, the A, and the N so far were bright.
Huh. Maybe do they spell out their own word? Or are those...
Not that I've noticed so far. Unless Han is something we're looking for.
Quick side note, there's an X next to the A. Does that mean anything?
No, there is nothing in that room.
That was okay. I thought that was like Roman numeral.
Nah.
I think that was my little like rabbit room thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay.
It's the time.
Interesting. Which room are we in now?
You are in G, but Vidya and Violet are in L.
Okay, I'm gonna go follow them into L.
Okay. L has 2 tunnels going off of it.
That you
don't know where to go.
We haven't checked out the extra room connecting to the N.
We can go back after we check out these 2.
Sounds like a good idea.
We go to the one on the right.
Okay, so you go to the one to the sorry, I'm having a time with directions.
The one below the one under the N.
Yeah, just that one.
Under the N? Okay.
Yeah, no, not the one under the N. There's a blocked out one that we can't. It's the one that's connected to the L.
Yeah.
It's under the
one
that
there?
one.
Yes, okay. So you go in there and you go in there and there isn't actually anything in there. There's like no letter at all. Harvey, are you still there with the torch?
Yeah, I think he's following, like, everyone.
Okay.
Whoever's leading the way.
You do see, like, a portion of the wall has, like, crumbled a little bit.
Interesting.
There's something that... It looks like something, like, destructive was here for, like, a hot minute. But it's not anymore.
Terrifying.
Valentino, I can hear you
put
like
your arm
vibrating.
It looks like something's been here. Are you alright, Valentino?
You sound like you're truly.
You have a lot of heavy breathing. Are you having a hard time breathing?
Can I go and
Can I go
and can I go and inspect this destruction?
Yes. Do like an investigation roll.
Okay.
Can I have Robin also go inspect, but not actually look at it, just slowly touch it and go, they must have been so angry. Maybe they're hurt.
Got a
They feel
15.
pain.
You look around it and this is... You can't tell what threw this punch, but God, it is a hell of a punch.
Does it remind you of your wife, Valentino?
Oh, it reminds me of my wife.
I love it.
That's what I thought.
The more we bring up your wife, the more concerned I get.
He's gonna like gently lay a hand on it and like very quietly so that like the others don't really hear him unless like they're listening. He just like very quietly whispers like, I will find you. And then he lets go and he straightens himself out and he's like, all right. We have a few other rooms to go investigate. Empty one. Interesting.
There is one right off of this one. There's two tunnels. There's one you came down from, and then there's one other one.
Can we go to the one that connects the L and the G?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go in there, and at the top of the room there is an E.
Yes, I knew there was an E in here somewhere.
This is like I'm leaning close to the other ones. Like this is like watching like an old man play Scrabble.
Accurate. How do you spell the word changeling? Interesting.
There's something funny about watching this little goblin just like run around and go, yeah,
Scribble in his book. Just scribbling around in his book. Interesting.
Yes. So there's one tunnel that hasn't been looked at off the side of this one, but other than that, you're pretty aware of what each room is, other than the one that you haven't looked off of the N from.
I want to run back like a very quick little goblin man. He is like, after seeing that punch, he is zoned in.
Ready.
He's going for it. He doesn't run fast enough that he ditches everyone. Like he's making
Harvey's
sure they're following.
quickly following with the flashlight.
Yeah, but
turning.
he's laser focused right now.
We scurry after with speed.
Where do you go?
The extra one that's connected to the N that we haven't gone into yet.
Okay, you go in there and you see exactly what you expect to. You see a G on the top
G.
of the room.
I knew it. I knew it.
You're turning into Aldian. Careful.
I know. He doesn't know anything though.
Bring back our goblin father. And then the last one, right? We zero between the E and the G. We have one more room.
One more room.
We run back.
Run back, booking it right back around.
We're just following this tiny goblin with such a vigor. You want to see some real speed?
You see some real
back
speedy
down
boy.
one of the two tunnels that you haven't looked at yet.
Yeah.
But unlike the rest of the tunnels, there's actually a door here. And with like a prominent lock. Like this is a solid door.
Solid. Also, is Esmeralda with us, or did we just leave her?
Esmeralda's been with you, yeah.
Okay.
Ditch the poor girl.
She's like pretty
just like,
tired.
bye.
She's been down here for like a day or two, so she's
Alright.
just like kind of quiet still.
I think Harvey is he's been making sure that she's all right, and attending to her.
Robin is gonna be also holding her to help her walk and
Yeah.
everything. While everybody else runs everywhere.
So there's a lock on this door.
Big locks. Got a rogue
Yeah.
in here.
We got a rogue.
Actually, Robin is gonna go. Maybe I could give it a try.
Oh, I'm a rogue.
You're a rogue.
He's just, I'm a rogue?
I forgot. He didn't. Sorry. I can try.
It's like, this is
Let
my
me
one
just,
job and I already forgot it. This is my main purpose, is to pick locks.
He got so excited about being able to spell.
I'm so invested in this puzzle, I forgot I'm a rogue.
He saw a smashed wall and went, "My wife."
He got a
My
little
wife.
too flustered by saying a smash wall.
Oh my
Smashed stone reminds me of my wife.
Yes, that one time punched you in the ass.
wife. She's so sexy.
Yes, Robin, if you would like to, because I think Valentino was probably like really enraptured, like in his little notebook and just like, my wife.
My wife.
You can make a sleight of hand check on the lock.
Yes, I would love that. Thank you. Okay. We can do this. So, sleight of hands. It's gonna be a 19.
Ooh.
I don't think Vane's capable of rolling bad.
This
I feel
is
like it's
kind
just
of an
like a
intricate
god.
lock. But you managed to like get it pretty easily. Like you've like interacted with this sort of lock before anyway, so like you get it open and you open the door, and as Harvey probably shines the light in, you see several people in here actually. And Esmeralda stops and she goes, "Oh my god." And she goes in and she's like very familiar, and everyone's like standing up and like finally like realizing like the door is open. And she's like interacting with all of them, and they're all like talking with each other really rapidly, like exchanging information. And the rest of them aren't even like really looking at you. Like some of them are like edging out of the door just because like they don't want to be in this room anymore. It's something like 7 or 8 people.
What are they doing here?
Are we
what is-
intruding, or
Esmeralda turns around and she's like, these were some of my people. They had been gone. We thought they had been taken by guards.
Maybe they were. And can Harvey look at like one of the other people and like just go up to anyone and be like, "Does anyone remember how they got here?"
And Fearbold kind of steps forward and goes, I was setting up my stall when I was about to be arrested by Frollo. I tried to move out of the way, and I tried to hide in Notre Dame. I was sucked by the floor into this area. There was something about being safe right before I left.
Can I? Oh, sorry. Go.
No, you can go ahead if you want.
Oh, okay. Can Valentino look around the group of people, and like walk up to one of them and be like, "I hate to be a bother, but was there an orc here?"
one of them like looks around and is like, I mean, for a bit, she like broke down the door for a second, but then it like molded back into place. I don't know. She disappeared. She was like screaming through the tunnels, and then screaming stopped. Door was already shut by then, so we couldn't get out.
Thank you.
Is he crying?
Is he okay?
It sounds like he's
He's
crying, and it sounds like
It's
it's
so
kind of ugly
beautiful.
cry.
Mr. Valentino,
It's an
Yes.
ugly cry, isn't it? Ew.
please get yourself together.
I'm trying my best.
Okay, try harder.
Please.
The people from this room start to like move out, and there's like you peer around the corner and there's like a second door that was also locked that you can assume comes from like the other tunnel. And they start to like filter out of the tunnel and start to like look up at the ceiling that's like slightly glowing. But Esmeralda kind of stays in the room for a second, just like staring at the walls and the ceiling, thinking. And she turns back to you and goes, "We need to get out of here."
Well, that was kind of obvious, so maybe we can go through the door and go back outside. I would love that right now. It's getting kind of stuffy in here.
Is Quasimodo not here?
I don't think so.
Listen, I didn't like the looks of Frollo when I got here, and I really do think, seeing how that Theobald was getting arrested by Frollo's guards, and Frollo doesn't like arcane magic, I really think he is trying to do something to these people, and I think Quasimodo's saving them.
Yes. I think the question of if Quasimodo is still here is a complicated one. And she like looks around at the walls.
Harvey looks at Violet. Violet? Do you
yes.
think that you might know how to find Quasi?
I don't know.
Esmeralda like walks over to Violet, and she looks at her and goes, "I think perhaps together we might be able to reach him. I hope."
Okay. Okay. I've never met another changeling before. I've always just been the only one. I don't know if there's like a thing that we can do.
I don't know. The main way that Quasimodo would sometimes expel Arcana would be to connect with Notre Dame. He was so familiar with it. How could he not? I think perhaps together we might be able to. And she like moves over to like the wall, like on the far side of the room, and like puts her hand against it and just looks back at you.
All right. She's going to take her hand out from Vidya's and go over to where Esmeralda is and put her hand on the wall as well.
Esmeralda looks between you and the wall and kind of awkwardly, hello? Quasimodo? She kind of waits for a bit. Do you want to do anything to assist in the role?
I don't think I have any. I don't have any spells that are helpful. Okay. Unless I can cast a message, but that's not going to do anything, I don't think. I'm going to I'm just gonna keep my hand on the wall and just Mr. Quasimodo, we don't know each other, but I think we might be quite alike, and you have a friend here who would like you to come back if you can. We'll keep you safe.
All right, and I think that's enough to give her advantage on this roll. She's going to be rolling straight charisma, and let me pull up her character sheet. And she rolls a 17.
Okay.
So as you feel against the stone wall, you can feel like a temperature change within. Like before, this was like a cave. It was cold, wet, damp. But the wall sort of changes in temperature and in texture, and soon it sort of like reaches in between your hand, and soon both you and Esmeralda are like holding hands with the wall. And Esmeralda like curls her hands around it and kind of pulls slightly, and an arm kind of starts to extend.
I'm gonna do the same thing. Wrap my fingers around and pull.
Slowly, Quasimodo starts to emerge from the wall, and he's still sort of half formed. His face is like sunken on one side, with like a slightly larger forehead to a corner. He starts to like slump as he exits the wall, and he kind of lets go of your hands as he like starts to look at himself again, and he looks around himself, and he's not like flesh or skin. He's stone.
Cool. Okay.
And as he opens his eyes, you actually see that they resemble the stained glass of the
Get out.
of the cathedral.
Fucking cute. So cute.
I'm sorry, my sister just texted me and said I fucking called it. But he stands and looks at you, and through the stained glass you also see like a slight shine. It's like the sun is like drifting through it. And he looks up between you two, and he kind of sits heavily down on the floor, like he's not used to the weight of his body.
Oh, careful.
Are you safe?
Thanks to you.
And he smiles. I did not mean to make this. It felt like a dream.
I think I know what you mean.
Still feels like I'm in it.
Do you want to wake up?
I think perhaps it might be better to dream. I don't think I will try and bring people in to sleep. That for one. I think one might deserve it. And For a moment, the the sun behind his eyes shines a little brighter, and in one of the tunnels you can hear a shout and a fall, and all the other people you heard in the tunnels, you can't hear them anymore, and he like looks around, he's like, they're safe, actually safe, like safe.
I believe you.
Would you like to be safe as well? I don't know.
Are you going to come or are you going to stay?
I think I might come and go. It's difficult to stay like this. It feels so much heavier. I miss feeling light. You're like me, aren't you?
I suppose I am. I've never met anyone else like me.
Well, I can already tell you're one of a kind.
That's very kind of you. If you ever do come back and wake up, we might learn from each other.
Well, I mean, someone needs to ring the bells. I'd love to meet you again one day, but I think for now, I want to go back to sleep. And he looks at Esmeralda, who has like tears in her eyes as she looks at her friend, and he looks and goes, Why are you sad? I've never felt lighter. And she just throws her arms around him and just hugs him, and he hugs her back. And then they let go of each other, and he puts his hand against the wall again, and off the side of this, you see a sort of staircase push forward from the stones and like curl upward. There you go. Now I have a trial with a judge scheduled.
Go get him!
Beat his ass.
Violet's gonna just very gently like put a hand on Quasimodo's and just get him.
I will. And he sort of moves to go out of this section and like closes the door behind him. I assume you guys kind of go up the stairs.
Yeah.
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 It gets lighter as you go upstairs, and you come outside of Notre Dame to the bustling street and the festival, which is starting to slightly wind down, but only to an evening like level. It's definitely evening now. It's been a few hours in Notre Dame. As you go and drift among the festival, all of you are quite tired. And Headmaster Shelley is actually standing by the fountain, and she turns and sees oh! I wasn't sure where all of you had gone. Are you alright?
Yeah.
Never been better.
Well, I do always find Notre Dame comforting.
You could say that.
Certainly is an adventure.
Well, I'm going to head back to the hotel. It's been a day, and I was meant to have an appointment with Judge Frollo, but he seems to have disappeared for the evening, so I shall simply find him another time.
Probably for the better.
Yes.
Harvey goes up to Robin and he kind of pulls her aside and goes, this definitely wasn't how I wanted to spend our first day engaged. And it's been a little bit of a wild ride. Are you sure you're alright and you weren't just saying yes because you felt like you had to?
Harvey, I said yes because I love you.
I love you too. I'm sorry I ask so many times. I just don't want you to be sure.
Thank you. I am exhausted, so maybe we should go back to the hotel.
Right, that's a good idea. And he takes her hand.
Do you guys go back to the
She
hotel as well?
holds on to him. Yeah. Sorry, I'm on the verge of tears. I can't. I'm good. I'm good. I
Fine.
don't know.
It's a happy.
I don't know.
It's
but
happy.
it-
Everything's fine.
Who could say?
So yeah, we go back to the hotel.
We go
Nothing
back to
bad ever happens at the hotel. Do the rest of you go back as well?
I think Valentino lingers for just a moment, looks back at the castle, or not the castle, the cathedral.
Cathedral.
Yeah, same thing. And he just he's looking at it quietly, and he writes down a little note, and then he follows after them.
Yeah, I think Violet's gonna linger just for a little while. If there's any like remaining, is it just like completely dark outside, or is there still a little bit of light?
There's still a little bit of light.
Okay. She's gonna go to one of the big stained glass windows and just kind of like wherever there's still the light coming through, and if there's like the reflection of the glass in the floor and the pews or whatever, she's just gonna kind of like stand there and just kind of. And then once the light goes out and it's dark, then she's gonna go back to the hotel.
I think Video will like go to follow everyone, linger behind, and she'll look over at her beautiful raven, let it kind of bounce down onto her hand and kind of hold it out, and touch her forehead to the ravens and take a breath for a moment before looking up into its eyes. Quite a day. It's bedtime now. And her smile will kind of fall. It's bedtime now. She'll put the raven back on her shoulder and go to follow everyone.
The evening comes to a close. You all stand in your hotel rooms. It's been exhausting. Some of you sit, read a book. Some of you draw in your Lisa, I can't remember. Lisa Frank. Frank. I'm sorry.
And Lisa.
Frank, notebook.
Lisa.
Some of you just stare at a wall and think, my wife.
My wife.
My wife. My wife.
Some of you
She's so
just
big,
like
so
That
sexy.
today. Now 2 people are thinking, my wife.
ah.
My wife.
One of you stands in front of a mirror, just alone, and one of you sits in your room, just contemplating the day and how well it went. Does anybody want to do anything before we leave?
As Robin is staring at the mirror, she can't help but think, what if it's my fault? What if he changes because he's near me, because of who I am? What if I'm not good enough for him? I'll just make him unhappy. And he deserves all the happiness in the world. Oh, Harvey. I'm so sorry. And she writes down a note that she sticks to the mirror. And she writes with lipstick on the mirror, "Come what may." And she kisses the mirror. And the note says, "Dear Harvey, thank you for the happiest moments of my life. With you next to me, the world seems such a perfect place. I hope you find someone deserving of your unconditional love. It simply can't be me. Come what may, I will always love you." And she packs her bags with all of her things. And she heads down silently, so no one notices, to the guard station to take the train, expecting to see her mother. Maybe she will be there, maybe she won't.
I think Harvey's going to be standing in his room. And he's going to realize he never put the ring on Robin's hand. So he's going to go to her door. And he's going to find the note. And he's going to put it in his pocket. And he's going to go back to his room and stay there.
As he actually reaches into his pocket, he feels something strange. He actually pulls out a pair of gloves and looks at them for a moment. They're strangely familiar and unfamiliar at the same time, but actually as he reaches in to like maybe slip one on, there's a piece of paper inside with some notes. And you recognize them because they're in your father's hand. It's only part of a page, but it mentions something about the attic, Brecker, and Hyde. And with that, I think that's the end of the one shot.
How dare you!
You get that shit out of my face!
Thank you for coming to the Stone, Glass, and whatever this was called. Stone, Glass, and Bone.
Whatever this was called.
I'm gonna go do a cool flip. Bye, guys. My night was great. I had a great adventure. No angst for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
go
am
throw
in
myself
bed
off a
going
cliff
to go
real
cry
quick.
about this.
Oh my god. I need a vacation. I'm taking one, actually. I'm heading to the guard
Robin's
station
going
to
on
take one.
vacation.
You're going on the vacation right now. You're going on a vacation.
I know.
You
I hate this. Damn these
Y'all,
guys.
if anyone has any questions on lore or anything, I have a Patreon, GothicFaerie. I have stuff on there. I also have additional stuff for patrons, like I have playlists for Quasimodo, Esmeralda, and Frollo that I'm going to be updating tonight. If you want any of that, if you have questions of how Arcana works, there's on that too. Thank you for tuning in to this one shot. I hope you tune in to the next one. It's called Angel of Music, and it'll be next month.
Ooh.
Have a good night, and take care of yourselves.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.